Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Garage Gym Experiment podcast. My name is Adam. I'm here with Jake, and for this week's episode, here's what we have for you. We're going to start with a product pitch by Jake. He's going to give me a product, and I'm going to give it a grade or a rating. We'll talk about new products that are entering the home gym markets. We have a little yay or nay. Go through the survey results, and then we'll sign out. So with that, Jake's going to start us off
with what we're hoping we can do next week with the survey. So it's the end of the year. Honestly, we're about out of questions, and would love to just change it up a little bit. We're hoping to do this, and then the following week we'll do the year-end summary of all of the data that we have for the entire year. So next week, what we're hoping is that you, the listeners, go out and actually poll your audience. So whether it's on Facebook or Instagram story or however you want to do that, make a poll of a question you want to ask about the home gym community, see what people like, and simply send it to us. You can just send it to an Instagram DM to Garage Gym Experiment, or shoot me, Jake, at Garage Gym Experiment, an email. This is something that we see this regularly, people asking questions. For example, Keith at the No Wine Cellar, he does this like almost every week now, it seems like. So Keith, if you do the whole thing, if you're the only one who sends us in something, then props to you. But would love to just get about 15 or so. If we get 100 questions, we'll probably just try and narrow it down to the best ones. But we'd appreciate it, and let's just see how it goes. All right, product idea. For new listeners, or for all listeners, we have a product idea about 90% of the time. We're just kind of winging it over here. It's fun to do, and it's usually at the end of these episodes, but we're bringing it to the front. If you're not typically here at the end of the episodes, this is what we do. I think we have like 15 now, and typically it's me doing a product idea and Adam giving it a grade. So let me do the pitch. All right, so this idea comes from me just like rearranging my rack. I put the universal pulley system towards the front with a cross member. I took out my pull-up bar, and I was just like loading it up with as much as I can. And one thing that I really did notice is that the top cross members on the side, the rack attachment potential is limited. So like, whereas the front, you can put jammer arms, you can put J-cups because they're going down. You can put a landmine, those sorts of things. There's nothing you can really do at the very top except for like plate pins or, hitch pins. Like there's just not much you can do. I know it's at the top, so it's limited anyways, but I think it is, and you see this on a few items. Like, so my idea is a side mounted pull-up bar. So I realize it kind of it would be, you'd have to sacrifice a little bit, but it's basically like one of those wall mounted pull-up bars, but on the side, not quite as bulky. I imagine it angling up, and then you'd also need to make sure it didn't take up as much space as something like a wall-mounted pull-up bar. And then if you're watching on YouTube or Spotify, you can see the pictures I have here. I would imagine this to take up, or just to utilize, the same hardware that normal cross members do. So about five different hole sizes apart from each other. So might be tricky to make sure it's strong enough, but I did kind of like jimmy rig it, so you could kind of see what it might look like if you're only listening. But so if you're watching, you can see just kind of the idea. It would also obviously be higher. I just kind of like jammed it in to what I have, and then it would also just need to be long enough to where, like, if you had plates on the side, then you could. It would be long enough to where you could still do pull-ups. And I will say, so there are those like globe grip pull-up bars that you can put on the side. Like Rep has an option to put it on the side, and then like the old Force USA G20 had one, but there's no like traditional pull-up bar. But you could also throw on a budget pulley on the side too. So I'm really just thinking about this as like kind of the same benefits of having a wall-mounted pull-up bar, to where like if you're like squatting or benching on like a 4-post power rack, you're not going to be able to do pull-ups in between. Or just it gives you a little bit more versatility. Like I said earlier, I put the universal pulley system at the front of my rack. Anyways, Adam, what do you think?
I like the concept. I'm just wondering how it would work, because like after you like showed this, it makes more like structural sense with like it coming angled down, right? So you have like that angled like brace. But then I'm starting to think like if it would attach to like your upright, where that at all, you would lose like your 3x3 for any attachments you want to put like kind of up high. It'd be tricky to make it work. If you could do it where it would hang over like this, and I love that like upward angle.
Yeah.
I think it looks sick. It would work for a rack like yours, especially because it's so weighted down with like your back storage and stuff like that. If your rack wasn't weighted down as much,
right.
I'm wondering how much play you would have like as you're like doing pull-ups. Like you and I were kind of bigger guys, so I'm wondering like, you know, how that would work.
I thought about that too, but just like based off of having a more budget-friendly rack in the past and being smart about weighing it down with weight, it worked completely fine. So,
yeah.
And then on the other hand, I'm like, okay, this seems like a decent setup. Why hasn't it been done before? So it's like maybe people have tried and it just feels a little shaky.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think, So
if you wouldn't lose those top holes and it was like structurally like sound as you're using it, I think it looks cool.
Yeah. So I think the big thing for me is it would need to utilize the hardware in the cross members. I mentioned that in the pitch, but so if you see like the one at the very top and then the one that is 4 down, it would have to utilize that. That way it's usable. Like there's still enough space to you do other stuff.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah. And like the way you have that set up, like it would get you far enough away from your,
right. It would have
stuff.
to be.
Yeah.
But I do like.
Sorry, go ahead.
What I do like about this is like it doesn't like, you know, when you think about like how much space a rack takes up, it would be high enough to where like it doesn't really affect the overall floor space at all. You could easily just walk under it, and likely you need a little space on the side anyways. So it's not taking up precious space, I should say.
Yeah. And then I'm sure you do. Do you remember using the globe pull-up system on the G20 on the side with all the plate storage and stuff on there too? And your body would like rub up against it as you're pulling up.
Right. Well, that was because the Smith machine was right there.
Yeah. That, and like all the plates that were loaded on there too, I was bumping into those as well.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah.
The way that looks, like as you're explaining it, I was like, I don't think I'd like the look of that. I don't like a lot of stuff on my rack, which I know we'll get into in the survey and stuff like that. But the way you have this set up, that looks nice. I like that.
Rogue has one, and I think Titan does too, like this, but it goes at the front of the rack.
Okay.
It's like some sort of add-on. So, anyways, what do you give it?
If it would, again, if it was sturdy and you wouldn't lose like your upper hole spacing and everything just worked out perfect, right? In a perfect world and stuff like that, like a 7.5. Nice. I like doing halves. You know,
nice.
Split the baby. Yeah, 7.5.
I think that's higher than I would have expected, but I think there's a lot of ifs.
Yeah.
All right.
Like I said, in perfect world. So
in perfect world. All right, let's move on to. There were a couple of new products. So number one, this MODBAR cable attachment. So this comes from Bare Steel Equipment. It is a modular cable attachment, which is kind of what the name references. So it has the ability to go from a 24-inch to a 48-inch straight bar. So, 24-inch for like tricep curl down and then 48-inch for like a lat pull down. So yeah, it's I don't think there's anything else like it on the market. I think they filed a patent for it. The patent was co-patented with Man Who Parks in the Gym. So I believe it was more of like his idea. He went to, I don't know exactly the story. Maybe it'd be cool to do a follow-up podcast on that. Yeah, they worked together to get a patent on it. It is available from Bare Steel. It's not cheap, and there's some other like things that you can add to it, which are pretty cool. But I mean, this is pretty awesome. And then Matt Pendergraph is involved as well. I don't know exactly how, but he did help co-develop it. So one of those products from the community, pretty cool.
Yeah. One thing I liked about it were the nunchuck handles. So like on the very ends, you can attach like dangling handles. I thought that was pretty neat too. That was like one of the things you're referring to with attachments that you could put on there as well.
Did you check the extra price of those handles?
I didn't even check the price of the MODBAR. They've been doing a really good job like promoting it, because I've seen a lot of it like through my feed and things like that, but I haven't gone through and looked at price.
See, I think that's just one of those things where if you are able to partner with somebody like, like AbMat traditionally does, you just get so many more eyeballs on it, because, like they're friends of this person who feel like they need to share this, who needs to share this. So, yeah, pretty cool. And I do think this is a really good idea.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
And then next up, the Anker 3 from Torque. So this is a wall-mounted pulley system, not really a functional trainer. It sticks out just 8 inches. So yeah, it sticks out about 8 inches, but I believe there's only a high and a low. So I don't think it's like something you can move towards the middle at all. And it starts out at $9.99 for a 150-pound stack to $199 for a 225 stack. And as somebody who has a wall-mounted pulley system,
$12.99.
What did I say?
$199.
Oh, yeah, $12.99 for the 225-pound stack. And as somebody who has a wall-mounted pulley system, Adam, what do you think about this?
With just the high and low, like that's mostly all I use my pulley system for. Mm-hmm. Face pulls, bicep curls, triceps, things. Or I'm sorry, triceps and biceps. Mostly what I use it for, but I also love to use it for like face pulls and things like that, where I would require like the adjustment.
Yeah.
But 8 inches off the wall, and that would be really nice. Things that protrude into like your working space, losing like big open space in the gym is not something you want to do. So it's pretty cool. And the price is
digging it.
Is decent. Yeah.
All right. So yay or nay section. So we haven't really done this before. And Adam, I didn't even give you too much of a heads up as to what this is, but I'm basically have like 4 or 5 products that we've shared recently on Instagram. A few of them have gotten a ton of attention in the good and bad way, mix both, etc. So I'll just run through them and you give me a yay or nay. So number 1, this Signature Fitness cheap rack attached belt squat from Amazon. That's only $70. We did poll the audience and 54% said they do trust it. Would you give this one a yay or a nay?
It's a nay for me, Jake.
Yeah, man. That's a nay. Short
levers when you're doing things like either deadlifts or squats, I don't think feel good. Bigger levers like a landmine stuff at the end of a 7-foot bar feel a lot better, but yeah, I don't like the feel of it, to be honest. So
yeah, I'm gonna go nay too. But I think there's potential if it was longer. I don't know why they just wouldn't make it longer.
Yeah. That's what she said.
All right. So I didn't even know what to call this, but this bullet, for anyone listening, we're watching a video of Larry from Bulletproof Fitness running through this like insanely long lever arms. What would you call this?
Man, it looks like it's like a rack attached hammer strength machine is what it looks like to me when he's doing the pull downs. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's cool.
It's a monster. And like, looks like you can get a lot of configurations out of it.
Yeah.
Honestly, I've only seen him do the first one. We're watching the video right now. That's what the pauses are for, guys. But I've only seen him model that first, like, kind of lat pull down move. The rest of these are pretty interesting.
Oh, yeah. You didn't watch it through. Yeah. I mean, one thing that he did mention on the post, and what he does so well is he actually like goes on our post when we repost it, and he comments on just about everybody, good, bad, or in between. And I think like a lot of people really respect that. But anyways, yeah, he did mention on there that this would likely you wouldn't just attach it to your power rack. You'd want like a standalone unit to where you can play with this.
Yeah.
So
his stuff is so cool. Like he has some really neat ideas. I think it was the one that was it on last week's episode?
I have another one coming up.
Okay.
I think is I don't want to say it's definite yay, but
okay.
And he should be at Home Gym Con, so that would be pretty cool to have them.
Yes.
All right, performance pin. So this is like a easy drop set, plug it in a selectorized unit or selectorized machine, and you can select how many reps you want to do, and it just pops out. It's about $50. You going yay or nay on this one?
Yay. I love drop sets and ship sets and stuff like that. Yeah, as long as it's as user-friendly as it comes across. I remember Joe Gray, he modeled like he was doing leg extensions with them, and it did everything he wanted it to. But I think it's really cool. Kind of like a tinker toy, so like not something you'd use like every time, but like something fun to like mix in. I don't know, last set type of thing. So, yeah, there it is.
All right. The posterior chain developer. So this one also from Bulletproof Fitness. First video is him showing GHD. Next up, back extension. Right now he is kind of finagling the setup to do, I think he's going to do some rows or something like that.
Yeah, T-bar rows.
T-bar rows.
So cool.
With like the ability to like swivel it as well. Like watch this. Changes it up. Oh, now it's not locked.
Yeah, dude. This one's a winner. Like
I think this one's a winner.
The build quality on his stuff it's so good. Now he put in a barbell for a seal bench, a seal row bench.
Yeah. I like how this one's just like same body parts, you know?
Yeah.
For the most part, or like the same area. It's not like a bench and a leg press. You know,
a lot of those machines that try to do more than one thing. Like this is always repeated. It's said all the time, but it's true. They don't do one thing great. They do a lot of things okay. This looks like it does everything. Like
that's a good point.
More than like you would want it to do. Like this looks amazing.
This is one of the coolest things I've seen.
So you would look at it and say, this takes up a lot of space. But if you were to like have all those machines that he can do on this one thing in your space, that'd be a full gym. And that has the footprint of like, I don't know, a rack maybe. Like it's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yay for that one.
The big yay.
Okay. What about this one? Not sure exactly how you pronounce it. Virus press. It's basically like some crossover symmetry type bands connected to a rower to add resistance.
They're putting resistance behind the person, so like they're pushing against it, and on the hand rower, so you're pulling against resistance as well. So at my my old gym that I used to go to, they would hook bands around the machine and then attach it to the handle. So you'd get the resistance as you pulled. It just never felt great. It's the nay for me, but I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I would go nay too. I've said this in the past before, or I've like polled people to see like, would you be interested in something like Concept 2 with even more resistance?
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people would be, but I don't think this is the way to do it.
No.
Yeah. All right. That was kind of fun though.
I like that.
Watching those videos, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, and then finally, we usually start with these, but we're finishing with the survey results. All right, so number 1, what rack attachment type is most appealing to you? So pulley systems, belt squats, jammer arms, or landmines. So the easy winner here was pulley systems with about 54% of the votes. Belt squats number 2 with about 18%. So kind of like that budget thing we saw earlier. Jammer arms 15%, and then landmines, which used to be like the most popular rack attachment out there, maybe 3, 4, 5 years ago. It's like before a lot of these innovations, is down to 13%. So
yeah, I said
I would
pulley
also
systems.
I would vote pulley systems. Yeah, easy.
Yep.
All right, rack attachments again. So what is? And this was something I texted Adam about, or Adam said I made a suggestion about something, and Adam said I don't like a busy rack. But
well, it's funny.
This question was. Go ahead.
I was going to say, we put our racks in our backgrounds, and like yours is like loaded down, and like behind me is just like 4 posts, like some weights dangling off of it. So.
Dude, the front of my rack is really loaded right now. I have,
is it?
Like I said, I moved the universal pulley system, and then on the first holes outside of the second holes, I should say, I put the Henny straps. So I've got the Henny straps, the universal pulley system, and that's a nice combo. And the Henny straps right there don't get in the way like at all. So I'm digging it. Nevertheless, so the question was rack attachment preference on your power rack. Would you like it loaded up with attachments, moderately filled, clean with as little as possible, and then not sure, which only 5% voted on? The number 1 answer was moderately filled with 55%. So number 2 was clean, as little as possible, and then third place was loaded up with attachments with 15%. So easy win for moderately filled. Thinking about,
I voted
what did you vote?
Moderate, yeah, because I have plate storage and the cable system, so I feel like that's moderate.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Yeah, I was gonna say too, like I just don't like to feel like claustrophobic like while I'm working in my rack, but I think a lot of it has to do with having a short rack. So I'm in a basement with short ceilings, so I have a short rack. Your rack is the taller version. What do you got? 90-inch rack?
93.
93, yeah. So maybe if I could step right in, or whatever. But I think that the height of the rack has a lot to do with that for me.
Well, I will say I still like the idea of having one loaded up rack with just about every attachment you can have, and then like some sort of like I like not like a skimpy squat stand, but like the bridge built rack
Phoenix
to like lift on is kind of like my ideal thing. So you can get try and substitute as many pieces of like equipment in that power rack, and then to save space, and then just like use a clean rack to bench, squat, and whatever with. So
yeah,
I think that's going to be popular one of these days. Just 2 racks and one loaded up, one simple. All right. Next up, we asked your level of trust in Amazon, Titan, Rep, and Rogue. This was kind of a follow-up to that like belt squat one we showed earlier. But this one, the responses were pretty much like number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. So let's just go over the high voting. So 3% have a high level of trust in Amazon for their home gym purchases. 25% voted Titan, and then 67% voted Rep, and then 91% voted Rogue. So, and then, yeah, it's pretty much spread out relatively even there. I will say there's a big difference in Amazon and Titan, with 50% voting medium interest. So 75% have at least either high or medium voting for Titan. So only 19% voted low for Titan. But nevertheless, pretty big differences between all of them, actually.
Yeah, and the one thing that surprises me while looking at this, like Amazon, that makes sense. Titan actually like makes sense to me just because of their like former reputation, and they do have some products that like just aren't great. While I do agree that they have some good ones, but the rep high number is what surprises me. 67% felt low to me. I thought that would be more like in the upper 70s, lower 80s. But
yeah, same. I think rep and Titan percent high votes kind of shocked me a little bit. I would have thought Titan might have been closer to 50 and then maybe rep closer to 80, but yeah, Rogue only had 1% low vote, 1% I don't know. They like killed this one.
Even 7% medium is like that's really good.
It is just interesting to hear or just when you change up the wording like this a little bit with like trust instead of like buy from. Kind of interesting. This will definitely be one we redo.
This is a good one. It'd be fun to do it with like just different rounds, like with like bells, and then you could do like Sornex. I mean, you could just throw so much at it. Yeah,
maybe we do this. Maybe we do this next week.
Yeah.
Let's just say, depending on how many responses people give us,
or sprinkle.
We should try and add like 6 or 7, or do it during the week. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
We'll see. And then is this the last one? Yes, it is. So if you could only have one heavy cardio machine option, which are you going with? So we lumped air bike and rower together because we only had 4 options. Stationary bike, stair stepper, or treadmill. So the easy number 1 was air bike or rower with 48%, treadmill 23%, stationary bike 17%, and then stair stepper with 11%. What'd you go with?
Oh, you know what I went with the treadmill. Yep, and that would not be my answer at any other time in my previous lifting. It's just that's what my goals are at right now. So, and that'll probably fade out maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'd go with air bike or rower just because of price. Yeah. I think like best value by far
and those two are easy to get on.
How I would use it, they're easy to get on. But I was going to say, in a perfect world, I'd probably go stair stepper. Like if someone was given to me, but the price difference was the reason I'd go with air bike or rower.
Yeah. So yeah, if I'm not buying and I wasn't like doing endurance training and stuff like that, yeah, stair stepper for sure. That'd be an awesome piece to have like in your home gym. Yeah. Cool.
But yeah. All right. It's going to do it.
Sweet. Yeah, before we sign off today, there are a lot of great holiday giveaways out there. So we've got, oh man, Jake, did you see Play teaming up with Nick Bear Fitness, BPN, giving away that full home gym? If you're just hearing this and you're like, wait, what? Sorry, it's too late. You can't sign up. But there are some others out there. I think Rep just posted that they are giving away like a $3,000 rack. The directions were find that Instagram post, like it, tag people. You also have to fill out their form, and you can get extra points, sign-ups for going in and building your own rack. So
and then sharing it, yeah.
Oh, and then sharing it. Right. Okay, cool. Yep. Which if you haven't already played with Rack Builder already, go do it because it's a lot of fun. So they're going to give away a rack this Christmas season. Friend of the podcast and has his own podcast, Primal Armor, is doing I think it's a giveaway a day, right? Isn't he doing the 25 days of Liftmas?
12 days.
12 days. Cool. So he's teamed up with a lot of cool home gym companies giving stuff away. Any companies out there feel like they're in the giving spirit, hit us up. Go ahead and throw that DM into Garage Gym Experiment. We'd love to do some giveaways. Everyone be on the lookout, though, because when there's giveaways, there are scammers. So if anyone reaches out to you with those Garage Gym Experiment with 2 R's or missing the I, it's not us. So, yeah, that's it. All right, guys. Well, be sure to keep your eye out for new episode releases wherever you listen to podcasts. Stay involved on our social media sites by following Garage Gym Experiment, taking part in our Sunday surveys on Instagram so that you can be a part of these conversations. With that, please be sure and send us your polls so we can go over them next week. Like, follow, subscribe to the channel on YouTube. Get involved in our website for all your home gym content needs. Keep up to date with Home Gym Con by following us at Garage Gym Experiment or our brother page, Home Gym Con. Also sign up for Neural News so you can get all that great home gym content. Jake, that's it, right? Or do you have something else? That's it. Okay. All right, guys. Thanks for listening. Catch you next time. Bye.
Bye.